The NBA released the Chicago Bulls in-season tournament matchups. But the major question for this episode right here is Billy Donovan's job really in jeopardy after what we heard and what we know? Y'all know me and CDubb gonna talk about it and break it down, but you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shy Bulls Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and on this episode, I am with my dog, CDubb. What's the word?
NBA Cup season is out, boy.
Now, before we get into typing into Billy Donovan, if y'all joining with us, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. We appreciate y'all and all the support that y'all been giving us over here on Shy Bulls Podcast. Now we want to jump into the in-season tournament matchups that the Chicago Bulls about to go through this season. CDubb, they're going to be in Group C. That group contains Atlanta, Boston, Cleveland, and Washington. The first matchup is going to start off on November 22nd with the Atlanta Hawks. Then they go ahead and play the Celtics on November 29th. Then the Cleveland Cavs, they face them on November 15th. So excuse me on that. They got this thing mixed all around.
Why you read it from right to left, motherfucker?
Bro, this is how they got it presented to me. And then they also face the Washington Wizards on November 26th. It ain't my fault that NBA.com decided to throw the dates all the way around. But no. How you feeling about this Group C matchup stuff?
Hey, man, damn, we ain't won a game in NBA Cup yet. That's fucked up. All right, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say we win an NBA Cup game this season. You want to know why? Because it starts with the Washington Wizards on the 26th. The Washington Wizards got Alex Czar.
Actually, the Atlanta Hawks. See, they got it all.
No. Listen to what I'm telling you. I know Atlanta first, but I know we getting us a victory because we play the Washington Wizards. You understand me?
I hear you.
We played them on the 26th. Man, this team is just tanking all over it. Did y'all see Alex Czar in the summer league? PU. He was disgusting. Even though I think he'll play a little bit better when we get to the real season, but it looked really bad. He got a lot of room to grow. So that's going to be a victory for the Chicago Bulls. When you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, our first opponent, we always played Cleveland pretty tough. And I think they relatively got the same team with them, with that fake-ass superstar and Donovan Mitchell. We going to see if we can go ahead and start this NBA Cup off right with a win against Cleveland. Then you got Atlanta Hawks. You know, I think we better than the Atlanta Hawks, even with the youth we got on this team. Trae Young going to be out to prove everybody. It's been a lot of dirt on his name. Some of that dirt was well-deserved. You know what I'm saying? Because he still can't stick a lick of defense. How long could you hide him? But anyway, that is none of my concern. That's up to y'all in Bankhead and Atlanta. Y'all deal with that. And then we got Boston Celtics. It's going to be a tough game. I think we play Boston pretty good. And that's with a DeMar DeRozan and a Zach LaVine in the lineup. Now, I'm going to be very intrigued to see how we play against the best in the league because they are the champions. So that's going to be a very interesting game. I say we go through this group play 3-1.
Wow. I appreciate your enthusiasm and homership.
Wait. Tell me where you see a loss at, though. Tell me where you see a loss.
Yeah, I say this group play out of these 4 games is gonna be a 2-2 thing.
Who else are they losing to?
The Cavs.
Ill.
They're gonna. I mean, it can be a ill, but they're gonna lose to the Cavs and the Celtics.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. They could go out there and very well surprise us. But I say, hey, it is what it is. I just can't wait till the season to roll around. Ain't gonna lie.
We all know who bleed red in this motherfucker. He talking about we finna lose to a fake ass superstar in Donovan Mitchell.
They team is better than ours. That's the facts.
For now, we ain't even know. We don't know how our team gonna run. Can we see how our team gonna run first? Look at you. Don't exasperate inside. I said I want to see the team play first together. It is a lot of young talent on this team. Can I see him play first?
Of course, you
All
can see
right.
him play. But
Then
as
why
of
you
right,
exasperating inside like this, nigga?
because
No,
as
you
of
didn't
right
say
now,
it.
it's just not happening, big dog. At
All
least
right.
right now.
Because they're not playing. Go ahead.
It is what it is. But y'all let us know how y'all feeling about this Group C. The Bulls being in Group C and the matchups that are coming their way. Now it's time to get into the bulk of everything. CDubb,
Is that the middle finger?
is Billy Donovan's job really in jeopardy? Let me give you some context before you answer.
Ooh.
So, earlier today, Greg Schwartz of Bleacher
Schwartz.
Report came out and dropped a list of coaches that he believes is on the hot seat.
Mm.
Billy Donovan was one of them, pretty much alluding to this ain't that old squad that you got. The Bulls don't know if you can develop young talent, and we just don't know. What we do know is a deal was given to him under the table that eventually came out, when Casey Johnson, later, down the line. But all things considered, do you really believe Billy Donovan's job is in jeopardy, bro?
First of all, Billy Donovan, he said he don't know if Billy Donovan can develop talent. We know this answer already. He cannot. And there's numerous fucking
examples
out there like Simonovic, Dalen Terry just starting to get his feet wet, shit like that. When it comes to Billy Donovan, I do think that he need veteran players around to, help him coach, if that make any sense for you, because he needs a coach on the floor. That's why he loved DeMar DeRozan so much. That's why he make sure that he kept DeMar's ego to the sky. That's when I say that, that means he's drawing up plays for him in the clutch, stuff like that. Give DeMar the ball type shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if he had to make Zach LaVine pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Because DeMar is a better coach on the floor than Zach LaVine could be. You expect me to believe that Billy Donovan is on the hot seat? That's what y'all telling me. Okay. How about his first contract? Do we know any particulars of that contract? No. Okay. I heard that he got extended. Do we know any particulars of that extension for Billy Donovan?
It was an additional 2 years, I believe.
That's all we know. Do we know any money?
No.
Okay. So they're being so covert, so quiet with Billy Donovan. I think because of the uproar of what they would tell the public, like it might be too long. Who knows how long? It might be a 10-year deal or something. I'm over exaggerating or something like that. I think that the front brass love them some Billy Donovan. I don't think this is true. I think this is dude's own opinion. Looking in from the outside, which is actually our own opinion when we're sitting here looking at it. Like, how can this guy be not reprimanded and look where we've been at the same position for the last 4 years? How can he be not reprimanded with all type of talent on his team? Young guys are not getting developed the way that they should be, and we got talent leaving the country instead of actually getting minutes on the floor to help develop their game. I think it's bullshit. I think Billy Donovan is here for the foreseeable future until I see otherwise.
Okay, fair enough. My thing is, I believe that his job should have been in jeopardy. That's just how I look at it. But then I got to come in and, after giving it some thought and hearing the take of others, and for the ones that joined the live a couple hours ago, I got to listen to what they've been saying. I believe it when I see it. That's what it really comes down to. Because if you mean to tell me throughout his entire tenure here, we gonna celebrate one playoff game, one playoff victory, 2 play-in appearances. That's what we celebrating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already been determined that the front office feels that he's had a successful tenure with the Chicago Bulls. I don't understand how.
What multiverse they talking about?
Yeah, ain't this one.
Oh,
this is the metaverse.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? This is metaverse.
Okay.
This is all the Those digital pictures everybody was buying a couple years ago. It ain't no longer here. And we can't believe it. Now you're stuck with an investment that you can't get no return on.
Mm.
So I'm just looking at it like, bro, if his job in jeopardy, how is AK and Mark Eversley so safe?
That what they go. You know what I'm saying?
And then what reminded me and what caused everything into question is this. Mark Eversley was interviewing for jobs. Guess what leaked out as a rumor? Billy Donovan can be moved up to the front office.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
don't think that's off the table. I
Could
don't
you
think it's off the table.
Could you fucking imagine Billy Donovan in charge of picking the players that's gonna play on our team? It's bad enough that he's the coach of the players that's on our team. That would be the worst thing possible.
So I got to
Who?
pose.
Where's the check and balances in this shit? You know, in government, you got different checks and balances. You got the judicial, you got the legislative, you got the executive. Who the fuck is checking whoever's going to put Billy Donovan in the front office? I don't like it.
Not Reinsdorf.
He's the executive in chief. What the fuck, bro?
Can I pose this to you and you tell me what you think about it that I posed on the live?
Go.
Real quick, do you think Brad Stevens is a better GM or a better coach for the Boston Celtics?
I would say this past season has proven that he's a better GM.
Do you think there's a possibility that can be the same thing for Billy Donovan?
No.
Why?
He can't even develop young players. I don't think he like young players. I don't think he like players under 25, nephew. I don't think he like them.
Fair enough. But the point is, the reason I asked the question is because Brad Stevens wasn't a bad coach. Wasn't necessarily a great coach either. He was a good coach. I'll give him that. He was a good coach.
Yeah, he was good.
But he ran into his brick walls year after year. The moment he goes upstairs, CDubb, Ime Udoka comes in, they go to the finals. Joe Mazzulla, Ime leaves, Joe Mazzulla comes in, go to the finals and lose. Then they re-up. He worked his way off and got himself a Drew Holiday and a Kristaps. They win the finals. That's my only logic. I'm trying to make sense of it. I don't really have much belief in Billy Donovan and in his selection of players. But sometimes if you step away from the coaching aspect, you could probably find somebody that's competent when it comes to finding players. If you leave up the development to others who are better than you. And it's been shown that Ime was a better coach, and now Joe Mazzulla is a better coach.
But that's a wild gamble to put a guy like Billy Donovan in the front office, because what if he showed you? Now, there's two different people. That's to be the simplest reason not to. Okay. I don't think Billy Donovan has been good as Billy Donovan in Chicago has not been as good as Brad Stevens was as a coach in Boston. He was not.
Fair enough.
And what makes you think that he would have your best interests in hand? I think of Billy Donovan as a lifer as a coach. I think he loves coaching. Some people don't want to be in the front office. Some people want to be on the sidelines in the trenches type of shit. Like who would be a good example who never went into the front office? I can't think of one right now. But if it come up, like Greg Popovich, he could go in the front office. But I think, you know what I'm saying? He could have been retired and been in the front office. But I think he loves being in the trenches. Okay. And you know what I'm saying, with the players and shit. I'm not really sure about Billy Donovan.
And I'm with you. I'm not really sure either. It's just brings me to have the conversation simply because when I think about Billy Donovan's time in Florida, I got to get a head coach a solid nod on the talent he was able to bring over there in Florida to win back-to-back championships. Yeah. But then it does get a little shaky in his NBA tenure. You know what I'm saying? Went over there with OKC, couldn't make much happen with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Didn't really want to go into the rebuild. You ended up, having Chris Paul for the year, and then you saying, all right, we up out of here. So I just think that it's a discussion worth having simply because sometimes if you move people, you know what I'm saying, they perform better. But if you ask me what I would do, nah, we ain't moving them upstairs.
It's easy to lead teenagers or early 20s like in a college. It's easy to lead those guys. But when you sort out the real from the fake is when you got to lead men. You know what I'm saying? And so far of him leading men, I'll give him this. He had to have help. It wasn't just him as the ultimate leader. He had to have Russell Westbrook and a Kevin Durant and a DeMar DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? So he's not a leader of men, I don't think.
That's fair enough. I just think that right now is we just don't know how to properly gauge him because he
How?
came into a great situation with OKC. I mean, we seen him with the 1 year that Chris Paul and SGA had, but then he got up out of that when it was time to rebuild that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it has been such a disappointment because when Lonzo went, like we seen the greatness that Lonzo provided to them that kind of hid some of his flaws. He hasn't had that type of point guard since Lonzo's gone down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you add the addition of Josh Giddey, you say, all right, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a little questionable because when we go back to what's the most important thing is, it's the player development. Who's going to keep the wheel turning as the years go on? Because you already lost DeMar DeRozan for pretty much second round picks and Chris Duarte. You didn't get much out of Josh Giddey, but I mean Alex Caruso, but Josh Giddey. So it doesn't give you much confidence in that.
Yeah, but I do think this nephew because I think this guy is trying to hunt a ring, and he wanted as quick as possible. He already got the college. This is just my opinion. He already got the college rings. He got two of them. So I'm not. I don't think he's willing to just start over like rebuild. I think he's gonna wait and see for this first half of the season, see how it turns out. Because the Bulls haven't said that they want to rebuild. They said they just retool it with young, experienced players. I think this guy is not built to deal with young players. I don't think he wants to do that. He wants to play to win rings, even though
He
he
ain't got
hasn't
one.
had it ain't been close in the last since he been in Chicago. So I don't know. This Billy Donovan thing is just strange, weird, all type of fucking verbs. I don't
It
know
is.
it's just strange.
It is because it brings you to have those questions because we like Pat Bev was only here for the second
Adjectives.
half of the season. He spoke glowingly about Billy Donovan. And then DeMar DeRozan never threw bad words on him, but we understood why. Because
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
he
We
baby
understood.
him. He
So
baby the
it's
shit out of
like,
him.
you know what I'm saying? We don't know how great of he is, how good of a coach he is in a locker room, you know what I'm saying, based off injuries, based off the failures, based off the downtimes, with a little bit of good sprinkled in there. So it's just one of those that's tricky. But if you going, you know how we do over here, we put shit on wax. So we got to put it on wax. If you saying Billy Donovan job is in jeopardy, at what percentage are you giving it?
As a terms of being fired,
Yes.
it's always a chance of you just being shitty to start the season. I'm gonna go with 10%.
You definitely lower than me because I was gonna give him about 30.
Okay,
About
I'm good.
30% of a
I don't
chance
believe
to
it.
be fired because I gotta believe it when
I
I
gotta
see it.
see it. Oh, well, you believe it a little bit. You went 30.
You know what I'm saying? So
My 10% nephew is just in case they just ass. They go 0-16 or something. Then you know what I'm saying. He might be fired.
I think this is important. One of the times one of the last few videos we did, you spoke this, and I think it's appropriate to add it into this discussion right now. You said, and I hope you remember when you said it, you said we are going to be able to tell Billy Donovan how good he is if he doesn't lose his locker room with these young guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important piece because the young guys can be like, screw this.
Yep.
I'm done. You know how it is compared to a DeMar DeRozan who knows he's at that tail end of his career and he gonna hoop and he trying to get to that next level or get to the pinnacle.
Yeah.
These young guys like, bro, I'm 23, 24. I got 10 years left.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fuck Billy.
Yeah. And I meant that. They
Yeah.
can all these young players on this team, they can absolutely end this Billy Donovan's experience. Um yeah, this is gonna be a very telling thing if he can keep these young kids on board, especially if they getting uh beat every other fucking day or getting beat every game. If they have a bad record going into the All-Star game, this team can completely revolt. And I would say this, nephew, from when he got here into now, I would say that Billy Donovan kind of had the advantage over the players in terms of love from the front office or love from the owner. Now that we start over, you got all these new toys. You got Montez. You got Lonzo coming back. What if he's still good? You got Kobe. He's a new player. He's ascending. Ayo is starting to blossom into the player he's coming to be. Who do you pick? You pick these new up-and-coming players, or you pick a guy who couldn't do it for you for the last 4 years. So he might be falling out of favor.
I think that's a fair point. And the last point I think is very important because we seen him. You know what I'm saying? We seen Billy Donovan, what he was capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? Where those guys was all healthy and together. But what we didn't see is a coach get the best out of his players when shit wasn't always in his best, you know what I'm saying, at his greatest moments. We seen Eric Spoelstra push a fucking play-in team to the finals.
Yeah.
We seen Ty Lue, no Kawhi, no Paul George, still go 6-7 games against the Golden State Warriors.
That's a good point, nephew.
We seen those, and we know it's levels to this. We ain't gonna get it misconstrued and act like we don't know. But I feel like a coach's greatest accomplishment is what you do when all the chips are not lined up in your favor.
Nephew, that's a great fucking point, because it seems back in the years past that when the Bulls go on a downward, when the fucking boulder get to rolling downhill, it's gonna keep rolling downhill.
Keep rolling. Ain't no speed hump.
Ain't no speed hump. Ain't no way to stop it. But when you brought up the example of the Miami Heat, a team that came out the play-in and went all the way to the finals, that's how you differentiate between who's a good coach and who's just coaching. Eric Spoelstra, one of the best coaches in the league. Maybe me. I think he's the best coach. So, yeah, that was a great point, nephew.
For sure. Great. For sure. Last question I got for you. If this young Bulls team makes it to the play-in, do you say Billy's still here?
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. You?
Yeah. Yeah. But I want to add on, I did say that he's gonna have to check off other boxes too. By the second half of the season, we got to be like, bro. No, at the end of the season, we need to be talking about Montes Buzelis. Hey, bro, ain't no way you can keep him on the bench. By the end of the season, you got to be like, hey, Kobe White, he got to get an all-star.
Give me one more.
And then I said this. Don't tell me it's about the young players, Mark Eversley. Show me. Billy Donovan. Stand on business. Put Nikola Vucevic on the bench.
He ain't like that. He ain't like that, nephew. He ain't got it like that. That's what he should do.
Because the reason I'm saying is because if you look at which big that you have that's going to run the floor better with the young squad, it's going to be Jalen Smith.
No doubt about it.
But don't tell me it's not about Zach and Vooch anymore. Show me.
Ooh, I ain't got nothing to say. That's all. Hey, you like that? It's about the kids. All right, show us. Oh, bro. I love the Nick Vooch slander. I just love it. I just love the Nick Vooch slander, bro. I'm here for it. He gonna size me up one day. He gonna catch me, bro. We don't fight though, Vooch. We don't fight.
This man funny. But hey, that is it from us today, ladies and gentlemen. CDubb, you ain't got nothing, right?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure on the way out, you're hitting that like button. You're subscribing to the channel if you want to call in and be a part of this weekend's mailbag episode. Call in, state your name, leave your take on anything Chicago Bulls. 773-242-9219. Thank y'all so much, Bulls Nation. Always see red. Y'all already know. We're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.